All right. Well, here we go. Hey everybody, my name is James King and welcome to my YouTube channel. One of the things that I thought would be fun to do for my first vlog is to kind of give everyone a backtrack of what's been happening in my life over the past 10 to 15 years. But before I do that, I want to talk about something that I discovered recently about 2 weeks ago, and that's called multi-passionate creative. And I was talking to one of my friends at work and they referred me to this podcast, and it was a gal interviewing somebody who was kind of like pushing this idea of multi-passionate creatives and how they should embrace who they are as people that have passions in multiple creative areas. So one of the things that I loved about it is I felt like I found my people, if you would. And one of the things I struggled with starting a YouTube channel is trying to niche down. And it was like this identity crisis because I love design, I love photography, I love music, and I didn't know which one to pick and to run with. And when I listened to this podcast, I realized I didn't necessarily have to do that. And I could just embrace who I was and put that out there for the world. So for those of you who are interested in listening to that, I'm going to link it below. I think it's really good information for today because you hear a lot of people talk about niching down, focusing on one area. The more you can niche down, the more successful you'll be. But for those people who are a lot like me who don't know how to niche down because our niche takes all of those pieces and as a whole, I think that you'll find some enlightenment in that. So check it out when you get a chance. Now with that, I want to talk about how we've come to a head to here, to where we're at today. And about 10 years ago, my wife and I, we moved down to a little town called Lubbock, Texas. And I decided to attend a school just about 30 miles west of there in a town called Levelland. The college was called South Plains College, just a little community college in the middle of nowhere. And how I found out about it was I worked with a gentleman at a music shop who moved down there to be a professor of teaching guitar. And he said, James, I think you should come down here and check it out. I think it's right down your alley. So after I got married, my wife and I decided to go check it out. We went down, we visited, it felt right. We decided to move there. A few months later, we were down there for the fall semester, not knowing really what to expect or what to do. But the program was amazing, and the people I met there were amazing. The instruction that I got was perfect for me because I wasn't necessarily planning on going to college, and this opened up the door for me for something that I was really passionate about to go do. It took about 3 years. It was about 2011. We moved back to Utah. We decided to come back home. And when we got back, I decided to take a job working construction with my dad. And while I worked construction, I thought, well, I'll give it a year, and then hopefully by the end of that year, I can start pushing my music more. So the idea was that I would do construction and work on music simultaneously. But a few things happened. One is we bought a house, then we had a baby. And another thing was I found myself losing the passion for music. And looking back on it, I think I can see why. When I came back from Texas, I felt like everything had to be successful. I felt like I had to write music that was a hit. I had to write a hit song. And where I think that is good because it helps challenge you, you want to write good music. What happened was I lost the fun of music. Music was always a thing for me that was an emotional experience. It was about the creative process, and I loved that. But when you start talking about trying to make it a career, or you start trying to make hit songs on every single song, it kind of takes the passion part of it out of it, the fun part of it, writing for yourself. And so we had the baby, we had the house. Next thing you know, we're a few years deep, and I'm still working construction. Now at this point, a few things happened after I lost the passion. I had thought maybe I won't do music anymore, but the fun came back. And how that happened was, as I started playing again and started making songs for fun, and my daughter would come and hang out and play songs for her, and she would hit on the guitar, and it really brought back some life to me. And through this process, I started regaining that passion again. But I didn't know how to turn that into a career because my priorities had changed. I had a family, and that was more important to me than trying to start off doing this thing and going and touring and the effort that really it takes to go and be a professional musician. And plus, at that time, the industry was changing. Digital downloads started becoming more popular. In fact, I don't think Spotify was quite on the radar like it is today back then. So the landscape was changing, and I decided, you know what, I need to do something that's going to help me get out of construction. So what I did is I started looking at all the programs in college, and I came across graphic design. And the beautiful thing about graphic design is that it was still a creative career. It was a good career to get into, and it could help in the long run help my music and learn how to brand myself and market myself. So I decided to do that, and over the last 5 years worked on that. I still have math to do. Dang that math. But that's led us to where we are today. And one of the beautiful things about finding this podcast is it made me realize that being a multi-passionate creative can be a really great thing. And I'm hoping that the things that I've learned through my education with music, photography, and design, that I can help others learn how to brand themselves as far as creatives. So I don't claim to know everything. I've had some really great experiences work-wise, learning about business, learning about how branding works within a business. And I'm hoping that I can help others who are looking for a way to grow their brand as a creative, whether that be in any creative discipline. So yeah, so here we are today, starting out with this new YouTube journey. You're going to be seeing a lot of different things from me. You'll see music videos, you'll see songwriting type, I don't want to say clinics, but like songwriting videos, tutorials, things that I've learned as far as a songwriter goes. You'll see some photography stuff, and how all those things can work together to create a business. So it's one big experiment for me. This is a big experiment, trying to learn how we can take all these little pieces, bring them together to help promote yourself, as well as take you guys along for the ride and the journey to do that. So, yeah, thank you for those who are interested in this. I thought it would be fun for those of you who stuck around to the end of this video to post my very first video I ever did on YouTube about 10 years ago. Almost 10 years ago, when we moved back from Texas, I posted my first video. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I'm looking forward to see what happens over the next few years as we do this. So thanks, guys. All right, here we go. Days like today are why I feel down. I need a change now. I need a change now. Dreams feel so pushed aside, and memories are stuck behind this wheel of time passing me by. Hey, jaded for the last time. Right now it's just enough to leave this town and run. Let's make our way to California. I need that open road to mend this broken soul and find the life that I've been missing. now I'm headed to California. This town I'm in, but time doesn't seem to change at all. No, every day feels just like the others. So I drift into the morning sunlight, pushing through a vertical skyline, and leave this life I knew behind. Well, time feels so slow now, it's fading. This distance feels like home. Right now it's just enough to leave this town and run. Let's make our way to California. I need that open road to mend this broken soul and find the life that I've been missing. Right now I'm headed to California to change my heart tonight. Change my heart tonight, yeah. Right now it's just enough to leave this town and run. Let's make our way to California. I